Hello, thank you for joining me. I want to talk about positivity, and it's something that I've talked about on more than one occasion because it's something that I think is very important for us. If you start down the negative road, you know where it can end up. You can get problems with your mental health. And I was looking at a post by someone that if you've been with me for a while, somebody you will have met in the past months. His name is Kaz, and he is a psychiatrist who is now working at a hospital in Germany. And he has written a piece about positivity. I will include that underneath. Please do click through and read it. It's lovely to hear the views of a psychiatrist, and do support his channel. Tell him I told you to. And we are going to have a face-to-face, probably the end of May, June time, talking about how we perceive positivity, how we can encourage it in clients. And I'm so looking forward to that. So underneath there'll be details of his channel, that particular recording, and the recordings that we made in the past. If I don't get those out of the way now, I'll forget about them at the end and go, oh no, or words to that effect. So I want to read a piece by Donna Ashoworth, from her latest book. And as ever, I've brought this down from my bedside, along with Wild Hope and I Wish I Knew. I have one of her books on my tablet, so that when I go to things like the eye clinic, I can listen to her work there, rather than taking a book with me. As if they put drops in my eyes, the words become rather difficult to read. Okay, so this piece is called The Positivity Pact. Positivity is misunderstood. It is not the art. Oh, hang on. I took my glasses off and I realised. There we are. I can actually see the words without squinting. I will start again. Apologies. The Positivity Pact. Positivity is misunderstood. It is not the art of masking emotions, nor is it the practice of papering over cracks. Positive thinking does not work if you're whitewashing misery or editing your truth for easier consumption. To become a more positive person, you must make a pact with your inner child, to hear their voice above that of your inner critics and demons. You must promise to allow them to come forth with their intrinsic belief in your self-passage through the storms that surge, that stir your seas. So positivity is not ignoring negativity. It is accepting it and then choosing to hope for better anyway. It is giving the same weight to the believing as you do to all the fact. And in the space between the two, remember your pact. So that's an interesting spin on positivity. I did swap where she says her to there. Apologies to Donna. Yeah, she writes for women, but for me it applies to anybody and everybody. So to become a more positive person, you must make a pact with your inner child. That's providing that your inner child was positive. Many of us have positive inner child with happy memories. There are some, though, who don't. There are some whose childhood memories are horrendous, horrific, full of hurt and abuse. So maybe the pact then has to be that you as a child got through that. You survived and you have gone on to thrive. So in that way, your inner child can support you and say, look, you know, it was horrible, it was hell on earth, but we got through it. You as adult you and me as your inner child. So she also says positivity is not ignoring negativity, it is accepting it. I would say it's not ignoring negativity. Rather than accepting it, I see that as retaining it, keeping it. Instead, I would see it as acknowledging it and letting it move through, not letting it take up permanent residence in your mind, but replacing that negativity with positivity. But there are always different points of view, which is why I wanted to read this and why I'm giving you the link through to Kaz's work. But then she says it's giving the same weight to the believing as you do to all the fact. That can be hard. Believing that you can get through a deep depression, you can get through severe anxiety. You have to believe that you can and you will. But it's one step at a time. It's not going to magically disappear overnight. So you have to remain positive that you can do it. But first of all, before you remain positive that you can do it, you have to tell yourself that you can do it. That you can get through this. You can be the person that you want to be, who is content with life, rather than putting up with anxiety and depression, ruining your life. And maybe being dependent on a prescription to keep you going. Okay, so we've had her views, mine thrown in a little bit, but do click through and have a look at what Cass has to say. And as I say, subscribe to his channel and say hi from me. Take care. Take the best care of yourself that you possibly can. That's so important. Bye for now. Speak to you soon. Bye.